Hi, I'm Justin, and I'm the Dungeon Master for Into the Dungeon. You have found our podcast, and we're so glad that you're here. Now, the best way you can support us is by writing a review, liking and subscribing, and telling your friends. It's the best way that we can get noticed on all of the major podcast platforms. So, now that you're here, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Today I am joined for the first time by Greg and another one of our fellow players, Ashley. Today will kind of be a twofer, as we didn't get a chance to do the dungeon chat for episode 5, Arrival at Belgard, which is fine, because the last two sessions seem like part A and part B anyways. Can't wait to play part C soon on March 8th on twitch.tv/intothedungeon. First, before we get into the dungeon questions, we have a little tip for you out there. I think today will be our first player tip as opposed to a DM tip. And I've been playing a wizard, so I'll give you a wizarding tip. If you're playing a wizard and are having difficulty finding scrolls or are lacking in funds to copy said scrolls into your spellbook, enemy wizards usually carry their own spellbook or have it in their lair or wherever they come from. Since their spells are already copied down, all you need to do is loot the book off of them and memorize your spells for each day out of 2 separate books. Alright, now let's get
Is such a thing possible?
Yeah, it is, actually. Like, all you need as a wizard is a book that has spells in it, and you just memorize from there. So, if you find another spell book, you just have a whole new set of spells.
That is super interesting. The thought never occurred to me to, It's not like they require attunement or anything, right? So
no.
I guess that's...
As long as you have it, you just have access to those spells.
Wow.
So what you're saying is we're gonna go rob a library for tax?
No, she's chaotic good. No, I'm just putting it out there as something people forget.
If it could help people, it would be a good thing.
But we can't steal. That's not helping people. Maybe if we find someone we deem as evil, I'll be alright with it.
Right, yeah.
Like if they attack us first... Then I can take their book. Alright, so we're going to skip those questions there, and we're going to start off by...
if a guard attacked you...
Wait, what?
If a guard attacked you and you had to fight back to defend yourself?
Well, guards typically don't have... Well, these guards do, actually. They have plenty of magic.
Yep.
These are highly capable guards.
They really are. It's a military town.
They'll attack you right off.
Yeah. I don't feel safe here.
So, we're not going to try and game the world just yet. We'll get a second wizard's spellbook eventually, I'm sure. Ashley, we're going to start with questions for you.
Cool.
So the first question is actually from Kyle. What does Denham think of the Arcanum now that they've revealed to him he possesses magic? Does that change his outlook on the establishment, or the Fae, or who use magic?
So Denham doesn't dislike magic users. I mean, obviously he gave Tack a gift. You know, he's fine. He's fine with magic. He wasn't expecting to have it, is what freaked him out. And he thought it was because of the red cat bite. So he was thinking it was something bad. So he's he has no harsh thoughts about people that use magic. So it doesn't really change anything.
Gotcha. It just freaked him out.
Yeah.
And drunk Denham is even more freaked out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. All the rest questions are from me. First up, will Denham and Hephaestia ever completely reconcile their differences, or will it be best frenemies forever?
Well, I was trying to reconcile some differences by, showing up all concerned for her well-being, and I think I just made her even madder at me. So, not sure what happened there.
Well, Denham is trying. I think that's the important thing.
Yes. Denham's trying. He cares about the safety and well-being of the people that he's traveling with, even if he doesn't completely agree with them on everything.
Well, that's really good. I think I have do I have a question for Greg on that? No, yeah, we do. We have a question about that. So I won't. Greg, feel free to pipe in, and if you feel like there's something relevant that you can bring up in the middle of her questions, because she can
Oh, do I interject on any of those?
Yeah, you can if you want. I mean, she's going to interject on your questions.
Oh, well, Denim doesn't, Denim shouldn't know why Hephaestia is mad at her, because it's a backstory thing that Hephaestia hasn't revealed. So, yeah, perfectly reasonable for there to be confusion about why there's anger.
Did you even know that?
Well, yeah. She mentioned it after the game. When we were playing, I kind of assumed it was. I showed up super concerned about her while there's, dead people being pulled out of a house fire. And
Dead
she's
guards.
fine, clearly. I thought she was upset that, I was jumping into a situation just out of the blue like that. But yeah.
Denim last session just made all the wrong decisions and nothing bad happened to him. It was just great.
It was wonderful.
Alright, so within the last 2 sessions, Denim has become more brotastic, as it were. Was this intentional, or did it just naturally grow out of the alcohol roleplay? The drunken roleplay?
Uh-oh, I hurt myself a bit. I think it was both accidental and just kind of grew out of it. That last game was really fun, just getting to pretend to be drunk, and then, all of us just not really having any idea what we were doing at all the entire game.
It was just everybody was just reacting. The DM was reacting to us, we were reacting to our mistakes and our bad rolls. Like the first half of that session, I don't think we rolled higher than a 12. Anybody in the group. Cool. I'm glad you had fun with it. I'm glad you had fun just being drunk centaur man.
It was so fun.
Jumping over walls and charging through guards.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, speaking of which, having fought multiple guards to save your friends, have you thought about how Denim will react when Hecate tells him Sandro abandoned her?
Well, Denim's pretty shocked that Hecate drew her blade on the guards, because Denim didn't really fight him. He was just, running from him.
Mm-hmm.
Really sounds like she got what she deserved there. I don't know.
Oh no.
Yeah, Denim was kind of...
Is that the spice you take, that when you stab a guard you get arrested?
Well, I mean, I just didn't know if we're taking her side, like, hey, maybe, she made a mistake, or if we're like, yeah, no, Sandro was right to just walk away. I don't know what the group is deciding on that.
In Foreign's eyes, he made a wise tactical decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Denim is going to be very concerned that Hecate thought that was what he wanted someone to do for him. Because, yeah, Denim wasn't fighting him. He wasn't fighting. He was just like, I have to get through you.
Right.
It was just...
It was more of, I see a fire, I think my friends are over there, I'm also very drunk.
Yeah.
Not realizing I'm, stumbling through you guys. I'm focused. I'm focused on...
Yeah.
I'm drunk focused.
Yeah, Denim was never going to attack the guards, except to, maybe break a grapple if he had to. But, it's... he was just trying to get past them. So he's a bit concerned that Hecate is kind of stabby and knows some shady people that get themselves killed when they talk to non-shady people. R.I.P. Jerry, but...
Wait.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jerry? I gotta say, I don't know what you're talking... I missed that entirely.
Who's Jerry?
When we were in Crossroads... like the first game.
I wasn't there for the first game.
Yeah. Hecate was like, "Oh, I know someone here that can help us out."
Oh, no, I don't remember him. Yeah, Black Market dude.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I gotta hear this story. What happened?
They went for information, and I guess he gave them some information, and then later on, we came back to see if we could talk to him again, and we found him with his throat slit.
Yeah, he was a loose end. He got tied up.
Oh, the blades must have done that,
yeah.
Or at least that's what's implied, I guess.
Yeah.
So this was the game the one game that was not streamed, correct?
Oh yeah, I guess that would have been.
Yeah. So I guess I'm coming at this thing happening like any viewer would. Yeah, I guess I missed that entirely. Oh my gosh, we got to go back to the. I'm excited to get back and start dealing with the rest of the blades and all that.
The rest of the blades, we wiped them out.
Are you sure? I mean, I'm sure we kicked their teeth in, but I don't know if we wiped them out.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure they've moved on to a smaller, less well-protected town, so I'm sure Crossroads is fine, at least.
At the very least.
Yeah.
Alright, so this next question is my one self-indulgent question for the day. I'm ecstatic about the gift that Denim gave to Tack. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to really roleplay it out last session because I think everybody was kind of at least definitely Tack was in a state of shock of what's going on. I'm still brainstorming on a bunch of things of how to use it since I don't have prestidigit. I can't ever say this spell.
It's prestidigitation.
Yes, I don't have that one. I didn't take it because I can't say it.
Excellent.
I have some ideas. What are your thoughts on Denim having magical tattoos?
Like a living spellbook?
Of course this is a conversation to have with Justin around, but, I have kind of shot ideas at him in the past about, like tattoos that act as scrolls. Like if you're about to get hit, you just read the tattoo off of your arm or whatever, and you can cast shield and block the damage or something. Of course, the way scrolls work, they kind of could deal damage to you anyway. But it's definitely an idea I've played with, and since it's invisible ink, there's probably ways we could homebrew up your Denim's magical ability, like he can just make it appear on his hand at will. Or and keep it hidden whenever he's around, so he doesn't look like this big text.
Can barbarians use scrolls when they're raging?
No.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean it's not useful.
That's true.
Plenty of uses outside of combat.
There's a lot of good abjuration spells that stick on you that you could
cast then rage.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, those are just thoughts. Obviously, we got to go talk to big man Justin about it.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting.
Good. Greg, it's your first dungeon chat. Welcome.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about on here? I'm just kidding. I've listened to a few of them, or one of them.
I think I've listened to all of them, maybe? I think I'm missing one.
Oh, I should have listened to all of them. I've been really busy at work, though. So.
There's a few times I think we brought you up and, dropped some... we were hoping you'd hear it. I don't think you've listened to a few of them, but...
Oh, my God. And I haven't been there to defend myself.
You haven't? Well, first questions from me. What was the inspiration for Foreign?
Oh, man, that must have been a really old question. It's really hard not to play a Fearbold Druid.
It is a meta combination.
If you're gonna play a Fearbold Druid, just the way to go.
Well, I guess to clarify, what was the inspiration for his characteristics? Not just Druid, Fearbold background. Was there something you were basing it off of as far as his character, how he acts?
Well, I've read a lot of wiki articles about druids, and not druids, Fearbolgs, and they... Man, I hear a really bad echo, sorry.
Oh, my bad. I hope that's not recording it.
Well, I'll probably record me saying that. I've read a lot of the wiki art, because, man, I can hear the echo really bad.
I'll mute... I'll mute while you're talking.
Okay. Oh man, that's perfect. Okay, now I'm gonna get it out finally. I read a lot of wiki articles about Fearbolgs, and they seem to go by a strict code. and my character is trying to follow through with that the best way possible. I want him to be affiliated with a Feywilds. He's not really inspired by any character in particular, but I was definitely fond of sort of like the caretaker sort of symbiotic nature that Fearbolg seem to have, symbiotic nature that Druids share. I think that's why they probably go so good together. And I don't know, I also didn't want it to be like a normal Druid, like it was I don't know, some wandering wild man in the woods. I kind of wanted him to be more clean kept or whatever. So, you know, my thought was like, okay, well, if I'm not going to have some guy out in the woods that lives off of rabbit meat and berries, what sort of jobs would he do that would put him on part of a society? And then you find out that, oh, Fearbolg societies have a pretty diverse range of roles. And Druids themselves, at least in older editions, it seemed like they were a lot more selective, right? I think, man, my knowledge of Druids in older editions is really limited. But I think there used to be like you couldn't, there could only be like one Druid of a certain level, and through, you know, the older editions, it seemed like powerful Druids were somewhat of a rarity. And I was thinking, well, what sort of ties would you have to create that sort of rare bond to nature? And that's why he serves Titania.
Yeah, older editions, I think you had to have like a minimum 16 or 18 wisdom in order to even be allowed to play a druid, because druids were kind of like a version of a cleric. Definitely in second edition, and the way they were played. And even in editions before that, like you had to have several levels of like fighter and priest together or something in order to even be considered a druid. And in order to become an arch druid, you had to, like, the only way you could get to level 15 is you had to level up to level 14, then kill the one arch druid in the DM's world, then you could level past level 15. It was crazy.
And I kind of like that to an extent. If 5e utilized better multi-classing options for spellcasters, it'd be something I'd be interested with, right? Because then you have to decide, like, oh, do I want to be the druid, or are there more diversified options? Maybe I take 14 levels in druid and then 6 levels in wizard, and it gives you some sort of a hybridization that actually scales well, just due to like the prerequisites nature that was in older editions for specialized classes.
Greg, I would love for you to have to explain to the group why they should help you kill someone to level up.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that in 5e. I don't think 5e has good options for spellcasters to sort of hybridize into, right? I think like you could have these options where you would go 14 or, you know, like 10 fighter, 10 wizard. I don't know if that's an actual split for it, to do like, you know, the sort of Gish class that wasn't, you know, a singular tree from wizard to Gish or fighter to Gish. It's like you had to have blank levels of this, blank levels to this, and then it gave you this, and it had its own sort of options and abilities, which was cool.
Yeah, that was cool, but actually is right. I really would like to hear how Foreign explains to us, I need to kill somebody.
He wouldn't. I mean, not unless it was a bad person.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just so out of character. Like, but like it would be forced to happen in game mechanics if that still existed in 5th edition.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a good guy, but in order for me to stay level with you, I have to kill this man.
Terrible. I just wouldn't level up, I guess.
That's what you'd have to do. You'd be like, well, I'm stuck at level 5, guys. Good luck at level 20.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Alright, so, let's see. Oh, that was only the first question. Next question from me. Do you practice your rhyming outside of game?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I thought that question would last a little longer.
I have I'm still not even that great at it, but I have poetry books. Not like I'm some poetry savant, right? But one of the reasons I keep up the rhyme scheme while I'm playing, I gotta keep trying to expand my vocabulary while I'm playing. I have a couple of poetry books, just like an accumulation of the most popular poems by the most popular poets, and it's actually in the D&D bag. I don't normally break it out while we're playing. I think the very first couple of sessions I read it a few times before starting, but Yeah, that, and I guess just listen to rap constantly, and that's the way to do it.
There it is. That's the multi-class. Bard and Druid. So he can rap while we fight.
I can do that as a Druid.
Do you find that the rhyming actually makes you like go quiet sometimes because you don't have a rhyme prepared?
Occasionally. Sometimes it's hard to respond. I think I've got caught like twice where I was going to try to say something, but I for the love of Titania, I couldn't think of anything to rhyme it with. So, not usually though. A lot of times whenever we're talking, it's just if anybody wants to play a character that only speaks in rhyme, the key is just don't speak first ever. You just let somebody else answer. You don't be. It helps to not be a bard, right? If I was a bard, I would be the face of the party. I'd be talking to people constantly, but because I'm not, I'm more of a reserved watcher, right? I have time to like preload my responses, which is, I think, pretty natural.
Yeah, and I think another trick that I can hear you using is longer sentences. Say it slowly.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. I probably should be. I'm playing a Fearbog. It's not too unusual to see big giant kin-looking folk speaking in booming or deep voices.
Alright, so next question. Thorin is a rather forgiving and jolly fellow, which is why him murdering somebody or asking us to murder was just hilarious. And he loves for everyone to get along. If Dinham and Hephaestia ever actually got into a fight for whatever that reason you said, what would Thorin do?
He would probably break up the fight. That's the easiest thing to do, right?
I mean, I don't know. It's a barbarian centaur and a ranger that can poof away. I feel like that whole fight would just be Hephaestia trying to kite, and as soon as Dinham gets in range, it just dead.
Perhaps. I mean, Hephaestia isn't. She's a ranger, right? She's not a wizard, so she can take a couple hits. I guess it depends how evasive she ends up being in the future. She'll get a one free escape card, right, from Misty Stepping.
Yeah, and, I'm curious how that fight would go now, because Denham's going to get really, from what I understand of your build, Ashley, he's going to get really fast.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a matter of, because the Horizon Walker stuff is all about poofing and teleporting. I wonder...
I just don't think Denham would ever get so angry at Hephaestia that he wanted to, like, kill her. I feel like it'd be the other way around. So it would mostly be me trying to run away from Hephaestia after accidentally pissing her off.
That's fair. I can see that. Character-wise, that makes sense. I was just thinking of, like, a one-on-one, like, how would this turn out?
Yeah, I don't think they would fight either, but, I mean, basically, it's like almost like a hit die versus each other, right? And whatever sort of raging isn't going to help resistances, because all of Hephaestia's damage is force damage now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
so
nasty.
it's just going to be HP full and hit die versus HP full and hit die, but Hephaestia does have a Hunter's Mark to add another D6 on top of it. And then, yeah, I don't know how that would go. If it would be fun to do that on a spread, but I don't see any reason for them to fight in general. And Thorin would do his best to break it up. Probably throw a fog cloud out, number one first round of combat. Nobody be able to see each other, can't attack each other very easily.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that this group tends to get along and not want to fight each other, because I've been in those groups and they don't end well. I think Ashley got close to being in one of those groups where PvP happened, but...
Oh boy, are you talking about,
Shh, no, shh. I don't think I was there that day.
We don't talk about that.
Alright, next question. So, feel free to decline this question, Greg. But when I make characters, I often create the character, and after a session or two, I start to imagine where they will go and what they will become by the time they're level 20. Like, you know, when they're getting, after the final whatever happens and they're getting ready to retire. What do you imagine Thorin will be doing when he is at the end of this campaign, when he's level 20? Like, how does he look? Is he, like, you know, beat up and, like, gritty, or is he just, like, as happy as he started?
Oh, man. I think Forain's goal for end of campaign is to create a place where everyone can live happily and potentially adhere to the Fearbold Code, which would include starting his own grove, and it's probably going to it has to be symbolic, right? Forain's really against the industrialization of the Thandelen Empire sort of coming in and modernizing everything. So ideally, there's some sort of corrupt foreign, but not foreign, but like
hilarious.
Out of oh man, I'm messing myself up with my character's name. It's some sort of enemy that he can wipe out, and then build his own grove on top of the remains as a symbol to anybody who might try to press him further.
That's terrifying.
Are you trying to destroy the Thandelen Empire?
Softly, yeah.
Through soft power, like not kill it with.
Oh yeah, right. But I mean, if I could definitely see level 20, almost like Forain the Gentle Conqueror, just going by and overgrowing, the nature all around him, until everyone has to abandon all semblances of industrialization and revert to a more natural form of life.
That's really actually kind of cool.
There's an entire savage waste north of all this that could use some overgrowth, I bet.
There's
less terrifying.
I have some hermit secret options that I'm hoping our DM will let me take part in, because one of them would be perfect for friends in game.
Huh. Well, that sounds really cool, and I think I said a few things, but I was muted. But yeah, I'm excited to see that for sure. Just how that affects the map.
I wonder. I don't know. We'll see what TAC thinks about technology and advancement versus the natural order. Maybe TAC would be on Forain's side. Maybe she wouldn't.
Well, I would say TAC's somewhere in the middle, because she doesn't technically use technology. She's just I want to use magic, and it's not natural either. It's not natural, but it's also not industrial.
What?
So
magic is normal as the air we breathe.
Well, I think we're gonna get along just fine.
So what does what are you planning for TAC for later on? What does she look like?
Well, the end level, there's a spell that I'm really excited about. It's called True Polymorph. If you can turn yourself into another creature you're at equal level of, but if you concentrate it on for an hour and you don't get broken out of it, that form becomes your real form. And I am looking at different dragon miniatures to paint pink. If that tells. So TAC won't be so small anymore.
Wow, I sure am glad I'm making friends with her before she's a dragon.
No, this is the plan. That's the plan. We'll see if we make it. We have to make it to at least level 17 for that to even happen, so good luck.
Alright. Wait, dragons, do all dragons have access to, or is it at least one that you can true polymorph into? Is that CR based? It
is CR based, and there is some that are.
So are there dragons level CR 20 or below that have access to polymorph as a spell, so that you can polymorph from a dragon back to TAC if you just want to make appearances?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it says. As long as I can cast spells and stuff like that, yeah. Mm-hmm. So dragons can typically speak and change into things, and true polymorph will not be a problem.
Nice.
What's the speed of a dragon?
Which dragon? The flight speed can get, if I remember off the top of my head, I think there was one that had 120 flight speed. I could be wrong. I think it might be 70 or 80.
Mm-hmm.
That upsets me.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
That's level 17 though. You'll have so much more speed. You'll be faster than most airplanes by that point.
Oh my god. If Forain has been calling TAC Little Hat for the longest time, does Forain get to be Little Hat when you're a dragon?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We have.
Are dragons any more legal than kobolds are?
We'll find out. We have 14 levels to go, and
well, they are put in prison.
At this rate, it'll be 2 more years before we even have this conversation again.
Sure.
I think it's fair to say dragons make their own rules.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty fair.
Also, hi, Justin. So,
welcome.
Gosh, that threw me off.
Leave again? You just pop in and then leave?
I think he's muted. All right, so let's see. Next question. So the campaign that I ran, at the very end of it, I know Megan had her character have a romance with an NPC, and you guys had also both played during the evil one shots. You and Megan had played a married couple.
Hey, you made it to the break. We really appreciate you sticking around this long. Don't forget, if you've been around this long, you might as well go ahead and give us that like or that subscribe, or just tell your friends about it. It goes a long way towards helping us grow the podcast. Anyways, that's all. Enjoy the rest of the show.
We're back. Everything's back. We had technical difficulties. I think we streamed the technical difficulties. Okay, as I was saying, you guys played a married couple. You are both fae creatures. Did you guys have any plans for Thorin and Hephaestia as far as to roleplay out any romance or anything? Or was that off the table?
I think she keeps hitting on me in game, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's adorable.
I guess so. We always wanted because we're a couple in real life. We want to.
That certainly makes it easier and not awkward.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, maybe.
It makes it less awkward for everyone around you, at least.
I'm really awkward. I've forgotten how to how to flirt at this point. Bless my heart. I'm trying. Yeah, and then I have to pretend like I don't know her already. That's fun.
Yeah. Also, I mean, do you even know? Did you ever learn how to flirt? Because you two have been together since
Well, this is personal information. All right. It's been a long time.
Sorry. I'll stop there.
Speaking of things being awkward, Creed, how awkward was it to play the NPC that Megan was romancing in your last game?
It wasn't so bad.
Have you seen that man in real life? I want a romance Cody. Jeez.
I appreciate it, Greg. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm flattered. It really wasn't that awkward, mostly because I've roleplayed romances out in my D&D experience. It's really not as awkward as long as everyone is just you gotta have be professional about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If everyone's cool with it and you talk about it if we're streaming, obviously you talk about it before off screen, but it's really not that bad, and if anything gets, a kiss or anything, you don't really roleplay that out. It's just kind of you fade to black, oh, you guys go to the room, and that's that. Think about what you want to think about. Don't tell me, that sort of thing. So, all right. Let me bring back up my questions.
That's all.
We're 34 minutes into this. I did have some questions for Justin if he wants to pipe in, if everyone's cool with that.
Do you cut audio or anything? Whatever stuff just messes right on up?
That's probably what Justin will do.
Okay.
But he...
Rip Justin.
Justin, would you like to do your questions, or do you want to just call it?
Justin's a robot right now.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no. You're. This is not gonna happen. I gotta mute him. Okay.
I had him muted for a long time.
He is very not quality for the stream. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. Did you guys have any questions anything else you wanted to say before we end the stream?
That was really quick. I have a question though. Something that Justin did the stream was really, really fun. Whenever you were mage-handed, suspended up in the air with your dark crystal acting as a spotlight, sort of like a little mobile gum-sized airplane, and we had a couple. We had Denim and Hephaestia, and Hephaestia Hecate. And we had other party members on the ground, right? And we were expecting to meet up at some point. Were you as as shocked as I was whenever it turned out that the description from afar ended up being 2 guards instead. I thought it was it was almost a poetic turn of phrase the way Justin fooled me into thinking that it was our party members meeting back up.
Oh no, he really effectively communicated that. Oh yeah, I found them. Oh gosh, no I didn't. Turn around, turn around, run, get out of here. I wish I was thinking on my feet. I would have used a homebrew spell to make the guy just scream into his thing instead of sending a message. But that'll be used next time.
And also, Tack had a fun solo adventure side quest where she delved into the seedy sewers underneath Belgard, and it seemed like you did it solo. Next time, are you considering bringing anybody else along, or are you, or is this like a? Are we to assume this is a secret mission that only Tack is undertaking as a journey of growth?
Well, it wasn't a secret mission. I know Kyle's going to get really pissed off now that he's hurt when he hears this part. But, yeah, it was actually offered to the 2 people. Well, the one person, it didn't click with the other guy, but Salvador was one of 2 people that had actually re-gifted something back to Tack. So she was like, hey, you want to come with me? And then later I realized, like, wait, no, Sandro's also one, but we couldn't communicate with each other to, like, have an actual, like, moment when he actually gifted something to Tack. So now it stands that the only 3 people I would ask is Sandro, Salvador, and Denim to come with me.
Yep. All right.
What did Sandro give him?
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still showing me as muted.
Out of character, I really want to gift Tack because I know the mechanic that this works by. In character, Frayne has not found anything worthy of Tack's.
You're not worth his friendship
yet. What? No, Jesus Christ, that's terrible.
You did say that. You did return the gift I did give you, and we'll play that out when the time comes. But to answer Ashley's question, the mask. Sandro gave Tack a mask. And it didn't click at first because it wasn't like, here you go, this is a gift to you. This was like, hey, this is useful, use it. And we didn't share a language to, like, do anything about it. And I actually didn't even realize, like, oh crap, I should have roleplayed this out somehow. It was later, I went, Sandro gave me a gift, damn it. I need to consider him part of the tribe for me. So, like, he's, like, somewhat I'm loyal to now, in a way.
Are you still taking a magic initiate whenever you get to level 4?
Oh gosh, I have no idea which one I'm taking. I don't know if I take Magic Initiate so I can get Prestidigitation. Oh, I said it! Oh my gosh, I said it!
Prestidigitation.
Yes.
You said it very well.
Oh my gosh, I finally said a word. That or, Linguist or Skilled. I'm very juggling about what I want to do, and when we hit level 4, I still won't know.
Alright.
But
Brian's looking for opportunities to give you things.
Magic Initiate might be the best option, honestly. So, yeah. Is that everything we got from everybody?
Oh, that's all my questions.
Cool. Ashley, anything else you want to say, or you good?
Well, I know I've been on here before and was asked about the animosity between Denim and the other Fae. Greg, how do you see that?
Foreign isn't violent, but there's going to be times in the future that if it's not reconciled, that see, the funny thing is Foreign's really friendly to everybody, but y'all are the right word is actually respectful to everybody, right? I'm not friends with anybody probably but Tack, Sandro, and Hephaestia. I assume we will be friends with Denim later, but Denim is probably going to become collateral damage whenever big spells get fired off in the future if harsh feelings don't get reconciled.
Terrifying.
No.
Awesome.
Just oh no. I
don't know. You're there.
I didn't realize it ran that. I don't know how deep this goes. Sometimes it's like deep, and then other times it's just like, no, we're good. We're cool.
Friend's very quiet. You can't. Yeah. He's not going to speak ill of people. One of the fearable code laws is the blood of the runt is the blood of the king. So everybody should be treated with an amount of respect, and if they are treated with respect and they respond with some sort of animosity or constant offense, they are still a king. They're just an enemy king, right? So no strict violence has been done against Frayne, so he's not going to go out of his way to hurt anybody. But if there's a time when he has to go out of his way to save somebody, or the choice is save somebody more loyal while at the same time hurting somebody that is not loyal or friendly, he's probably going to pick the easier option.
All because Denim doesn't worship his queen.
Oh, not worship. That is not the right word. She insults a deity that is sacred to his people.
And we'll wrap that up in game. So we'll stop there. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I think our next game is March 8th, Sunday. Please join us so we can finally maybe get something done in Belgard. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll just have another session just like the last one. We'll find out. And thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye.